Folks, Barack Obama is just as radical as Hillary Clinton. He's just not as experienced at lying about it yet. You know, Obama preaches hope and change you can believe in. Well, believe in this. If he's president, you can only hope to survive a home invasion, because Obama's change gives you no hope for armed self-defense, because he simply doesn't believe in it. Not for you, anyway. Everything you need to know about Barack Obama's radical view on gun rights can be told in this true story from his home state of Illinois. It's 4 days after Christmas in 2004, late at night, in the Chicago suburb of Wilmette. A father named Hale DeMars tucking his kids into bed. But behind his reassuring smile, Hale's mind's on full alert. Because the night before, someone broke into his house, stole the family car, and a house key. Suddenly, Hale's security alarm shatters the air. He grabs his handgun and discovers the intruder, an ex-con, back in his house. He shoots and wounds the criminal, who escapes in the family car he'd stolen the night before. Hale DeMars saved his family, but lost his innocence. He was arrested and charged with violating the Wilmette handgun ban. That father of two faced a year in jail. Now, you and I know something's wrong with this picture. So did the Illinois legislature. They quickly proposed a law to let gun owners defend themselves in their homes. Did Illinois State Senator Barack Obama vote for Hale's right to defend his family? No. And he didn't just vote against it once, he voted against it 4 times. Let that sink in. Barack Obama voted against letting law-abiding citizens have a handgun to save their own lives in their own homes. So where does Barack Obama leave you? Well, let's see. It's late at night. You and your family are at home and asleep when armed thugs kick in your door. They ransack your house. They tie up your kids, they rape your wife, and they're about to slit your throat. Barack Obama won't be there to help, but he will be somewhere else, opposing your right to stop any of it with a handgun. Of course, Obama and his family enjoy armed security around the clock, but for you and me, no self-defense with a gun at home or anywhere else. That's because Obama has always opposed right to carry. Quote, I am consistently on record and will continue to be on record as opposing concealed carry. What about a woman with a valid protection order against the man who's threatened to kill her? Or a rape victim who has to walk through the same dark parking lot where she was assaulted? Should they have a right to carry? Obama says no. Leave them defenseless. And it's not surprising that he had a perfect anti-gun record in Illinois. He not only voted for every gun control bill, he even wrote some for himself. Here's one of his highlights, or should I say lowlights. He wanted a federal law to ban all gun stores within 5 miles of a school or park. Folks, that would effectively eliminate every gun shop in the United States. But at the same time, he did not oppose porn shops near schools. I don't get it. Maybe it's a cost-cutting measure. Maybe he thinks keeping porn shops near schools makes all of his sex education programs a little bit cheaper. I don't know. But as a U.S. Senator, Obama not only blamed the gun maker for the acts of criminals, he tried to blame the gun owner too. He wrote legislation that would make you a felon if your gun was stolen and used in a crime. So while the gun maker goes bankrupt and the gun owner goes to prison, what about the criminal? In his book, The Audacity of Hope, he writes about the gangbanger who randomly shoots into a crowd because he feels disrespected. Obama says this about that gangbanger, and I quote, "We should acknowledge that there's a hole in his heart that government programs may not be able to repair." Folks, that's not the audacity of hope, that's the idiocy of hype. Anti-gun wish list, and Obama wants it all. He supports the Washington, D.C. gun ban. 1 gun a month, if any, banning all forms of semi-automatic firearms, and a total ban on handguns. And he's always favored licensing and registering gun owners. So earlier this year in the presidential debates, Tim Russert asked him if he would support it as president. Listen very carefully to the first words of Obama's answer.
Senator Obama, when you were in the state Senate, you talked about licensing and registering guns and gun owners. Would you do that as president?
I don't think that we can get that done. I don't think that we can get that done. I don't think that we can get that done.
I don't think we can get that done. He doesn't think he can get gun owners licensed and registered right now as much as he'd like to. That's the real Barack Obama. He's so radical, the National Journal ranked him as the most liberal member of the U.S. Senate last year. Now, it's a good thing he's skinny, because there ain't much room to the left of Ted Kennedy. But don't just take my word for it. Listen to the man speak for himself. Last month at a private fundraiser for San Francisco millionaires, he said what he really thinks about us. That we're a bunch of country bumpkins so bitter about our sorry lives that we cling to God and our guns. It's a home video, so it's rough, but take a look.
People have been beaten down so long, and they feel so betrayed by government.
So it's not surprising then that they get bitter. They cling to guns or religion or antipathy towards people who aren't like them, or a way to explain their frustrations.
That's Barack Obama, the radical, out-of-touch elitist who believes we're so bitter we can only survive by clinging to God and our guns. Well, Barack, we are bitter, and we should be. We should be bitter that these elitist, hypocritical snobs try to play us for a bunch of fools. We should be bitter that Hillary and Obama look gun owners in the eye and lie about their support for the Second Amendment. We should be bitter that Obama's wife is ashamed of our country and that his pastor hates America. We should be bitter that Hillary sold out our freedoms years ago and thinks we'll just forgive and forget. We should be bitter that our friends in the Democratic Party keep nominating their worst gun-hating candidates. But when Obama and Hillary mouth off like they have, and vote like they have, and lie like they have, and trample Second Amendment freedoms like they have, you bet the members of this proud association are bitter. For gun owners across America, this is how bitter looks. This is how bitter sounds. And come November, let's show them how bitter votes. Thank you very much.